I feel empowered and I feel like I want to be able to share that with other people. I definitely want people to pursue goals. I feel good and I want to share that.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Tim Brown. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
I am doing excellent. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent as can be. Thanks for asking. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Love it. All right. Well, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
Well, I am a marketer and my company serves small businesses and construction companies. I am particularly good at helping small businesses get found on Google. So we have a 10-person team now that's pretty dedicated to helping people get higher on Google.
All right. So are you doing that specifically for construction, or have you swiveled out of construction as well?
Yeah, so we recognize that construction companies are a great niche for us, but really the qualification is around that they have a high customer lifetime value. So it's really about companies that have a high, basically that their premium services are somewhat expensive. So roofers, remodelers, and high-end home builders particularly benefit because if we can get them one more lead, it could mean $1 million. So basically knowing that we are able to get them more leads, but it's the high-end aspect of it that makes them really good fit for what we do.
Understood. And I'm guessing the budget matches the output, right? So the
Oh,
input
certainly.
matches the output, yeah?
Yeah, I'm super transparent. So I would just say they're used to spending money too. So like, for instance, they are very used to buying materials for construction sites and things like that. So we know they're used to spending money. They know that an investment builds something. So it's just really the mindset, I think, also that is a great fit for us because they know that they need to invest long term and that when they spend money, they make money. So they have the right mindset for this too.
A big word right there, mindset. I've found that being in digital marketing and the business that you make has a lot to do with the mindset, and thus the growth that comes with it is relatable. Who did you learn that from? That ability to have the mindset of going out there and getting it done, getting business in, as well as helping other businesses.
Grant Cardone. So I don't know how familiar you are with that guy, but he talks about the 10x rule, and it's just basically setting bigger goals. So having a mindset that's large and setting big goals, because even if you fall short of those big goals, you also are doing better than you were before. So my first year of business, I did $340K as a freelancer. And that to me was all based on Grant Cardone and his book, The 10X Rule, and a couple of his other books. So really been huge for my business and my mindset to follow him. He also does sales training and stuff like that. So rubber meets the road type of sales tips as well, which, I love. So I'm always going to be a shill for Grant Cardone because he's a badass.
Now you've gotten the two sides, right? You've gotten what it feels like to do the fishing and to catch the fish. Why will you continue to repeat the skills that go with setting big goals?
Yeah, absolutely. And really just not being satisfied. I think that that's something that a lot of people that I follow, as far as, people that are really good with mindset, but also good with getting attention and persuasion, have this different way of looking at things where somebody else would say, if I achieved $1 million revenue, which we will do this year, that's just not enough. And frankly, the people that that's enough for, like, I don't want to be comparing myself to them. So, it sounds harsh, right? It does sound harsh, but we have other competitors in our area in Minneapolis that we're competing against, marketing agencies, so on and so forth. We had fun kind of like thinking about them as competition, trying to kind of put ourselves in the mindset of let's make them scared, which I find super fun, to be honest. Yeah.
It's like boxing, right? It's a sport. You're not out there to kill the person, but the mindset is I have to win, and it is what it is, isn't it?
Certainly. And if you have fun with that, like I felt it. It felt like WWF for a little while. It's okay. You know what I mean? And to be honest, when we're behind closed doors and we talk amongst ourselves, it's like, none of us are really you know what I mean? Like we're not that harsh of competitors, but I've really stopped thinking about those competitors. I've really started to think about the best in our country versus the best in our state. You know what I mean? So
That's
I'm
great.
thinking about these couple other agencies in the United States that are doing what we really want to do. And I'm certain I'll get bored of that too and try to go, worldwide.
Well, yeah, that was my question. Like global. I mean, I'm in Trinidad. If I wanted to access you, is that possible? Well, I guess it would be to get into the U.S. market if
Yeah.
someone international wants to get in. Yeah.
So yeah, it's always a balance because I don't know that I would be that confident to be like opening up a new market for a company. So we do a lot of work with contractors, construction companies, small businesses. So our actual niche is really hyper local a little bit. We're very confident in like let's say getting people higher on Google Maps, which is really powerful for companies that are serving a certain geographic area.
Yeah.
And so our niche is that small, but then like my mindset, so I'm looking at other companies that are big that are also doing that. So it's kind of a balancing act because half of it is like I'm trying to make sure that the niche is super tight. I'm not going after just Minneapolis companies, but I'm going after nationwide United States. I probably could help a company in Trinidad, but I am being kind of cognizant of the fact that once you spread yourself too wide, as
Yeah.
far as like your actual audience, sometimes it gets a little watered down because the way I'm talking about it, like for instance, there's a lot of marketing agencies that go after everybody and they say, we'll help you get more sales or leads. Do you do e-commerce? Do you do lead generation? We'll help you. It's like, that doesn't really speak to anyone because
Yeah.
it's so vague. So my approach on the niching side is saying, we help small businesses and contractors get more leads. So just having a very clear goal that you help with really tightens it up for them. And I think is really compelling because I mean, we have like a good 30 leads a month. And so, it's pretty solid the amount of leads we get. I think it's partly because of this kind of tightening up on the language that we're using. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's communication, right? It works
Yeah.
both ways. How can I help you is one question. What
Yeah.
the person responds with is another answer that then helps another question that helps
Yeah.
specify.
Exactly.
So, I mean, having that
Certainly.
conversation is very important. I'd love to know what do you do or what have you done consistently over the last 3 years?
I have tried to meditate regularly,
Hmm.
and I have spent a lot of time reading and listening to audiobooks and just making personal goals as a human too. Like I don't just want to be a entrepreneur that's successful. I want to be a good husband and I want to be a person who's caring. If I get there, let's say I get to some level that I consider significant success, I want to enjoy myself. I want to be good company.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm also trying to learn how to be, more enjoyable to be around by being empathetic and listening. I
yeah.
want to be magnetic because I want to be a person that treats people with respect and I want to be generous. So yeah.
So we spoke about mindset, and
Mhm.
it took a concept of change for you to understand that, hey, if I change my mindset on this, then it actually lines up with action. Now that you've seen the value in changing your mindset where people are concerned and how you interact with them, how does it make you feel that you've even decided that you've come up with the decision to be this person? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, so I feel empowered and I feel like I want to be able to share that with other people.
Hmm.
I want other people to experience that. And I don't know that I absolutely want everyone to experience having a small business because it's sometimes terrifying,
Hmm.
but I definitely want people to pursue goals. I feel good and I want to share that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, for those listening, what's the best place for them to connect with you and your agency?
Hookagency.com and at Hook Agency on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Love it. Let's switch gears for a moment. Again, amazing audience. Tim Brown with us. Tim, let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful warm blue Caribbean water. Tim, what's your earliest childhood memory?
I remember going out on the lawn of my family's house and doing karate. with my brother and drinking blue Kool-Aid.
Wow.
For some reason, I was probably like 4 or something like that, but we'd play karate, put a blanket down and pretend like we were 3 ninjas.
Oh, that's cool. Did you have the Kool-Aid mug? Did you ever have that?
I did not, I wish.
Yeah, Kool-Aid was a big thing. Blue Kool-Aid. Wow. So why do you think this memory is so clear, my friend? If you had to connect the dots to who you are today.
I think it's because I wanted to be on an adventure and I wanted to be active. And I do think human beings crave competition. I was competing with my brother, and I think we enjoy it. I think it's part of the adventure.
That's super cool. You are that high D guy, right? High D
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, you already know.
Definitely hear that, yeah. Well, here's what I love about that memory, though. Just given your love for marketing as well, digital marketing. It is the perfect ad, isn't it? I mean, karate on the lawn, blue Kool-Aid right there.
Hey, you got me. I'm already thinking about brands at that age, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I saw in your logo, there's like the fish on LinkedIn, right? There's the fish. It's a blue fish, right?
Well, our actual logo is actually a fish hook, but they don't have that emoji yet. So
right.
Yeah.
So you created that. Well, that's super cool. All right. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
I think I put Dare You to Breathe by Switchfoot down. I was really into Switchfoot. I got to meet him at some point. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Tim?
Yes.
Tim, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married? Well, you said yes, right?
Yes.
Do you have children?
Yep. I do not.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
More.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Tim Brown, what would you say that is?
I want to help inspire people.
All right, Tim, this has been such a great pleasure. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Just thank you for listening, and I appreciate being part of the community.
Yeah, it's great to have you, my friend. A pleasure I treasure. Tim Brown, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.